I know, I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but I know it's important for me.
I think it's really important to have art.
I think that art is really important.
So I think art is extremely important.
So art is important.
I think art is important.
Art is incredibly important.
I perceive no value.
Art is important.
I believe art is important.
I think art is important.
Why? Because it's the foundation to every culture.
As much as it's important, I think, to consume it and experience it, I think it's important that people make it.
Yes, it's important for the community. I, as an artist myself, have met most of my friends through art, and it continues to be a super driving force.
Yeah, some might say we make a living doing art.
Yeah.
So it's very important to us.
Yes.
Especially in a place like San Francisco, in a city, there's so many different things happening, but at the same time, living in a city, it's really easy to kind of get lost in the things you're doing. And so for me, it's really fabulous to be able to walk through the city and stumble upon a mural in an alley or see an installation, or even if it's just something in a window, just to have an opportunity to think about something and have something that changes my perspective or gives me something to think about for just that day or that hour.
Any form of art, I think, is a good way to express oneself. And art is definitely a huge component in my life. I don't consider myself an artist, but I do a lot of craft, and I find it really healing. Every time I show something that I make, I have a really nice reaction from people. I like seeing them smiling. So I think it make them feel really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
To me, also on a professional level, I design airport terminals for a living. We're working at SFO, and the art integration program for the terminal is an important part of the passenger experience. It helps ground the terminal in San Francisco's specific sort of aesthetic, and it's a very important part to the airport and an important part to my client. So correspondingly, it's a wonderful thing for the passengers as well.
Generally, I'm sure that there's plenty of purposes, importance to art, but oftentimes I'll see a painting of a blue square in a modern art museum, and I can't possibly fathom the importance of that. I can't see it have any practical application. So I'm sure there's plenty of instances of art where I perceive no value.
Art is important because it allows people to express themselves. It allows people to express themselves differently through a different kind of medium, and share beliefs and expressions that they might not be able to otherwise.
So art is important because it feeds your soul, and without art, you're like pretty much soulless.
A good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think everybody's doing what they try to do, be an artist or be a dancer or something that's good. Some people take pictures of dancers and they made it out of art.
I believe art is important in ways that we can never really measure and quantify. I think that we're painfully aware of the absence of art when we're restricted to just the bare necessities for survival. We become aware of the emptiness and the gaps in our lives, and so when we're responding to art, when we're experiencing art, then there's a fullness. Like life can we can experience like a spiritual fullness or kind of an equilibrium that we don't find otherwise.
I think art is important because it represents our more creative forces and instincts as opposed to our more destructive forces and instincts. It bonds communities, provides an expression of collective conscious, collective desires, and collective value.
Well, because you can let your imagination fly, do anything you want to do. You can, anything looks good. Like a mistake doesn't change you. Like you can do, if whatever you do, it looks good in art.